Hi dear, last class we are seeing about this working of the heart, right? So today we will see some of the terms related with the heart, okay? First one is the heartbeat. Heartbeat, nothing but your rhythmic expansion and contraction of the heart is called heartbeat, okay? That expansion, the expansion of the heart is called diastole, okay? The contraction of the heart is called systole. Okay, expansion is called diastole and contraction is called systole. Okay, then the rate of heartbeat, we'll calculate the rate of heartbeat per minute. Okay, per minute how many times it beats. Okay, so for the male adult it will 70 to 72 times per minute. Okay, the heart will beat 70 to 72 per minute. Okay, in the case of female 80 beats per minute. Okay, so you can listen this heartbeat using the stethoscope. Okay, so what is the sound you can hear in this? That is your lub and dub sound. Okay, so this low pitched sound of the longer duration is called lub. Okay, that is during the ventricle contraction. Okay, during the closure of the bicuspid wall and a tricuspid wall, it will pump, right? Contracts. That is here as a lub. Okay, the low pitch sound of the longer duration is called lub. Okay, when it relaxes, that is dub. The high pitched sound of the shorter duration is called dub. You can hear this lub dub sound. Okay, and next one is your blood pressure. Okay, since it is pumping, it comes out with some pressure, right? This pressure will be exerted on the walls of the artery. See, when the blood is flowing in the artery, this is your artery, it will exert some while flowing. It, because of the pumping, it has some pressure, right? So it exerts some lateral pressure on the walls of the what is it, walls of the arteries. Okay, this is called, that force exerted on the walls of the artery is called your blood pressure. Okay, usually it is measured in millimeters of mercury. Okay, millimeters of mercury. mmHg means millimeters of mercury. How much mm of mercury is raised, that will give you a blood pressure value. Okay, so that blood pressure is measured using a sphygmomanometer. Okay, sphygmomanometer. Your maximum pressure in the blood should be 120 millimeters of mercury, and your minimum pressure for the flow of the blood should be 80 millimeter of mercury. Okay, so how will you measure this um, blood pressure using the sphygmomanometer? So usually when you go to the doctor, they will tie this is the instrument, sphygmomanometer, a reading instrument along with the cuff and a bulb. Okay, this bulb for increasing the air in the inflating with the air. Okay, this is used for increasing the air in the cuff. Okay, so it will be tied around your hand in this place. Okay, so what will happen once it is pressure, once the pressure is increased in the cuff, how much pressure, to up to what level you have to increase? We said the maximum pressure should be 120. So this they will increase the pressure up to 140 or 150 till or up to 200. Okay, once they increase the pressure in the cuff, you already would have felt that if you're gone to the doctor, if they taken the BP means, you would have feel that one, right? They will increase the pressure in the cuff, your hands will be tightened, right? So it will stop the flow of blood in the artery. Okay, see, they increase the pressure above 120, because you know the maximum pressure will be around 120. Okay, 120 millimeters of mercury, but here they will increase above the 120, so that they will stop fully the blood flow. The blood flow in the artery is stopped now. Okay, once they stop, they will keep the stethoscope in their ears, and they will hear the sound. Okay, slowly they will release the pressure. Okay, slowly they will release the pressure. Once it is released, the flow of the blood will start, right? The starting of the flow, once it started, it start with some sound. Okay, that is that when you hear that sound, at what reading you can hear the sound, that is the maximum pressure, that is your systolic pressure. Okay, Again you will be slowly reducing the pressure. It will be below 80 milligram of millimeters of mercury. The sound will stops. Okay, the point where you are not able to hear the sound, that is your diastolic pressure, that is the minimum pressure. Okay, once the sound stops, that means fully the pressure in the cuff is fully released, so there will be a free flow of blood in the artery. Okay, so can why this sound happens means, for example, this is your artery. Okay, so the blood is flowing like this, laminar flow, without any disturbance it is flowing. So it will be flowing like this. Once you have given a pressure and stop the flow of the blood, okay, it will be stopped, right? Okay, once you slowly releasing, the laminar flow will be disturbed and you will get a turbulence. Okay, so once it is slowly opening, it will come out with some sound. It will flow with some sound, with some turbulence. Okay, some turbulence. You can see this, whenever there is a change in the direction flow of the water, you will get some sound, right? Turnings, and when it is falling from higher place, you can hear the sound, right? That is your turbulence, right? The laminar flow will change into turbulence. So because of the turbulence, you can hear the sound, that starting of the sound. When you hear that sound, that is your systolic pressure. And when it is fully open, the pressure is fully released in the cuff, then it will flow in the begin to flow with the laminar flow, right? So there will not be any sound. At that pressure, when the sound is stopped, at that point, that is your diastolic pressure, that is minimum pressure. That should be 80 millimeters of around 80 millimeters of mercury. Okay, so this is how they will measure the blood pressure. Okay, next one is, what happens if there is a we have said this systolic pressure should be 120 millimeters of mercury, diastolic should be 80 millimeters of mercury. Okay, what happens if it is greater than 120 millimeters of mercury? That is called your high blood pressure. Okay, what happens when it is less than 80 millimeters of mercury? It is called low blood pressure. Clear on this? Okay, high blood pressure is otherwise called hypertension. Okay, low blood pressure is otherwise called hypotension. Okay, why it is caused by the constriction of arterioles. When it is restricted, right, when there is restriction, so it will be flowing like this. Okay, when there is some deposition around here because of the cholesterol, or you'll get some deposition here, when it is when the path of the blood is narrower, now it become narrower. Okay, right, it already comes with some force. When it is narrowed, then there will be a disturbance in the flow of blood flow will be restricted, right? So it is caused by the constriction or narrower of the arterioles. Okay, it is caused by dehydration. When you are not taken enough fluid, dehydrated, your body is dehydrated, then you will be getting the low blood pressure. Okay, it results in the increased resistance to the blood flow. Blood will not be flow. Okay, here it results in the low supply of blood to the brain. Okay, because there is a dehydration, volume of the blood will be reduced, only less supply of blood to the brain. Okay, so because of this narrow air, it gives some resistance to the blood flow, then it leads to the rupture of the artery, and it leads to, because of the rupture, you will get some bleeding in the artery. Clear on this? And here in the case of low blood pressure, it leads to, because only less supply of blood is blood receives only a less supply of brain receives only less supply of blood because of low low oxygen and everything, it leads to fainting or dizziness, okay, due to low pressure, low blood pressure, okay. So high blood pressure is otherwise called hypertension. Here low blood pressure is called hypotension. It is caused by constriction of arterioles. It is caused by dehydration. It results in the increased resistance to blood flow. It results in the low supply of blood to the brain. It leads to the rupture of artery and internal bleeding. It leads to fainting or dizziness. So these are the things you must know about when you are studying about the heartbeat. Okay. Next one is your tubes. Tubes, nothing but your tubes. Here they mention about the blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. What are the two blood vessels? You know, arteries and vein. Okay, heart. From heart, through the arteries, blood is flowed to all the parts of the body, right? Blood is supplied to all the organs of the body through the arteries from heart, right? From heart to various organs of the body, through arteries the blood is flown. Since it is pumped from the artery, pumped from the heart, it will come with the force. Just now we are studied, right? It exerts some pressure on the walls of the arteries, right? To withstand this pressure, this artery is made up of thick walls, okay, thick elastic walls, because blood is under pressure, okay. That's why the arteries are very thick, okay. Next, after use, after this respiration, after this oxygen rich blood is used, we will get a deoxygenated blood from various organs of the body through the veins. It will be again sent to the heart, right? Again sent to the heart. It will not come with the pressure, right? After use, it will flow with some minimum pressure only. So these veins are only thin walls. It is made up of thin walls, okay. Why it is made up of thin walls? Because blood is no longer under pressure. When it is under pressure, to withstand the pressure means it will be made up of thick walls. But here no pressure is, blood is not under pressure, so the veins are made up of only thin walls. but here in the veins you will have some walls. It will allow the blood to flow only in one direction, right? You will have some walls like this. It will pass through the this wall, but backflow is not possible, okay. The veins are provided with some walls. Okay, next one is arteries. How the arteries will be, it is made up of thick wall here. Then how this oxygen will be exchanged, or and nutrients will be supplied to the cells? How it will be supplied? This main artery will be further divided into smaller branches, and these smaller branches further divided into smaller branches, and these smaller branches further divided into very smaller size, okay. That smallest, this is actually blood vessels, we know, right? The smallest vessel is called your blood capillaries. From these only, this will it has very thin wall, that is of the size 1 cell thick. Usually the cell size will be in the range of nanometers, right? Nanometers. 1 cell size thick walls will be present here, and these walls contain some pores for the exchange of the nutrients or gaseous from the capillaries to the cell. Cells will be present here. For example, these are cells, this is the capillary. I am exaggerating to show you how it is, but it will be very thin. It has some pores. The capillaries will have some pores. Through this pores you will get the exchange of things will be happening there. The exchange of materials between the blood and the surrounding cells takes place across this thin wall. Thin wall, here they mentioned the capillaries, okay. Here it will not be leaked, right? So this capillaries contain some pores. Through the pores only the exchange of material is taking place. Again, what happened? All the capillaries join together to form a vein. That's it. Clear? Thank you.